Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mr. 008 here, and today I have for you a Two Tower CHIMPS challenge video regarding update 43 of BTD6. So I'm going to be attempting with a second tier wizard and a flying fortress to beat Chimps mode with no other towers. Let me just show you the parameters of the challenge and all of that, just so you guys know that this isn't like fake or otherwise giving me an unfair advantage. And this is a combo that has never been done before in BTD6. I would like to note that a base wizard and a flying fortress have been used for Two Tower Chimps before, by one or multiple other players. I don't know which players those are off the top of my head, but we are going to be using a second tier wizard and try to beat Chimps with just this wizard and the flying fortress. So for those of you who have not seen the patch notes, there is a change. Let me actually restart and put the wizard in a better place so that the wall of fire is able to be maximized a little bit better in terms of positioning and micro value. So this should be better in the long run, even if not better in the short run. So the Flying Fortress got a buff, and it now deals 6 damage instead of 3 with its radial darts. So that is something that I'm not sure how it's really going to affect the tower, so I decided to make a different type of video for you guys instead of my typical type of such and such tower got buffed. Let's check it out and see how much stronger it is. Instead of that typical type of video, I decided to make something like this. I just hope it works out, because I do want to be original and to be good at being original, so hopefully this ends up working well and being received positively by the viewer base on this channel. So I'm going to put the ace right here, that way I can micro its figure 8 and figure infinite fairly well. So I'm going to put it like right here or so, I would say. And I don't know if that's going to end up being best or not, but let's put it on figure 8 for now. And we do have to make sure that we have lead and camo popping power and all of that. So I'm going to get this ace upgraded to a spy plane as quickly as possible. That way we have our camo lead popping power. And we also would like to get the wall of fire as well on the sooner side. That said, Neva-Miss targeting is an important upgrade as well as a stepping stone along the way to getting the flying fortress. So let's get sharper darts right there, and I'm going to skip straight past centered path, so this is going to be probably about $3,300 that we need. And if we lose, we can just restart the round, as long as we have other avenues of beating each round that we may get stuck on temporarily. So I actually did try to beat Two Tower Chimps with a, let me see if we need to micro this. Looks like we barely do not need to. But I did try to beat Two Tower Chimps already today with an Archmage and a Bomb Blitz, but it turns out that is impossible to do, because I did test some of the late rounds, like 95 and 99, and it was not giving me an issue on those rounds, but it was giving me an issue on some of the earlier rounds, especially the round that first spawned in camo purples, and I want to say that was in the early to mid 40s, and I had an arcane spike, but that cannot reveal camos, and the bomb shooter, although it can pop purple balloons, it cannot pop camo balloons, so it was impossible to beat the game with those towers on Two Tower Chimps. That said, I could have tried another map now that I think about it, like Scrapyard, because of the crushing mechanic at the far end of the map that allows for dealing with certain bloon types in other ways, and that would still be Two Tower Chimps because it's not placing down another tower, it's just using a part of the map a certain way. So this round we may need to micro a little differently, including with the wizard's target priority, but I don't know if that's going to be enough on its own, and it looks like it will. That is good. So we need like $200 more for the Neva-Miss targeting, and after that we should be good for a while. And so let's go ahead and get this, and we will be able to pop leads, and we can get fireball to avoid needing to micro in that regard. So micro is not necessary on this round thanks to that. And let's also get the wall of fire, and we will put the wall of fire just as early along the track as we can, and we will move it as needed. So next thing we have to do is to get the Spectre. We do have the option of getting Arcane Blast if we so need it, but if we can go without buying that upgrade, that will allow us to get the Spectre a little bit sooner, whether that be a round sooner or part of a round sooner. Anything can help in that regard. So we are now about 10% of the way to getting to the Spectre, and that will help us out a lot because we will be able to beat rounds like 55 and 63 with that tower. But rounds like 49, for example, we will not have enough money for the Spectre by then, so we will have to find a way to beat that round with micro and whatnot. Since the Neva-Miss targeting, as good of a tower as it is, may not be strong enough on its own. So, and I was experimenting with some ice towers as well before making this video, but the camo whites make that impossible to do with certain non-camo detecting towers, such as a Moab Domination, because I was thinking of using that tower as well, but I found that that may not be possible with towers that have not been used already, at least. So the Moab is potentially going to be a problem here. So let's micro the wall of fire, and it's not timing correctly there, but it looks doable. So I'm going to see if I can just use the wall of fire as many times to hit the Moab as possible. And let's put it up there. And we'll see if we can get it over there, and it does not work in time. So similar problem to before. I didn't even realize this was on centered path, but it is automatically like that. So let's see if figure 8 helps us in that regard. So let's see if we can get this, and We do get the firewall to pop some of the ceramics and the other parts of the balloons inside of the Moab there, and we are past that round now, so that is nice. I definitely wanted to make this into a video because, one, I am a YouTuber after all, and I want to make as much of my, like, BTD6 content into content as possible, as opposed to just playing on my own and not sharing my experience with all of you. And two, I would like to, for this video, to serve as proof of me completing this challenge instead of just posting a code to Reddit and it possibly not being recognized all that much. So we are almost to round 49, which will be the next hump we have to get over for this challenge, I would say. I don't think any of the rounds leading up to that will be a problem. So we do have fortified ceramic balloons right here, which may be an issue. Just some mild micro, and we will be fine. Let's try that for the wall of fire, and micro it over here again, and hopefully we will be fine with this. Again, looks like we just need some basic micro, and I don't know why it's taking so long for the wall of fire to actually place sometimes, but let's see if we can use this, and we can, and we have no issues there. So just some mild micro here and there is necessary to get past certain rounds, and let us continue on. So the purple balloons are not an issue for us because the ace can take care of them, even the camos. I do wish that I was able to go for the rapid fire and lots more darts, because that would make this a lot easier at this point in the game. But that is unfortunately not in the cards for us today, due to the fact that it makes, I don't know why that's on last, it just makes things difficult for us in that regard, in terms of not having camo detection on the ace. So due to that, we do have to go for the dumb cross path, but that should not make this impossible. We just need to be careful in this regard, and I don't know why we lost as early as we did on that round. But let's see what we can do with the ceramics and all of that. I don't know if this is a good idea to leave the wall of fire where it is. Let's try figure infinite here, back to figure 8 as quickly as we can, and we still lose there. So I think it's all about the wall of fire. The ace micro is not really important relative to the wall of fire, so let's set it there. That was a little late, but it is looking like maybe, no, of course not, unfortunately, because the wall of fire was nerfed quite a bit since its release, considering how quickly the firewalls used to be placed and all of that. Why is this on last again? It's not what I want. And that's the best that I have gotten to so far on this round, but I'm not quitting. I definitely do believe this is possible. Let's try the firewall right there, and now back to here. Hopefully it actually places quickly enough. And there we go. There we have our Spectre. So at this point, it is just a saving game, I would say. And micro may be necessary until we get to the point of getting the Flying Fortress, but if it is, I think we are going to be fine, and we are going to be well up to the challenge. So we are at round 53 right now. BFB is coming in 7 rounds and some big ceramic rushes in 10 rounds, but the Spectre can definitely handle that. I think my first round of concern is potentially round 76, but even that should not be a problem considering how powerful the Spectre is and the fact that it destroys ceramics so quickly as it does. Should make it impossible for significant regrowth to occur in that rush on round 76. So, I was watching a video earlier today that kind of gave me the inspiration to, attempt this challenge, that being a video that was uploaded about a month ago on H-Bomb's channel, and he was talking about the history of, Two Tower CHIMPS in Bloons TD6, and how it was not possible, until, like, version 7 or 8 or so, depending on, buffs that were given to certain towers and all of that. So, let's go ahead and continue with this. Round 63 is coming up, and I don't know exactly how many Two Tower CHIMPS combinations are possible right now, but I think it's in the thousands given how many towers have been buffed and that there has been a significant power creep since the early days of BTD6, because there were a couple towers back then that were really good, and nowadays they're decent or not that good in general. They're like decent at best, but not like broken or anything, like the Comanche Commander and the Permaspike. With all the combinations that are possible, I am eager to see if this is one of them, and I am definitely thinking that since we got through round 49, I don't think that there are any other concerns we have to worry about at this point. The damage against the fortified Moab class balloons is kind of slow, so maybe some ZOMGs on rounds 80 and the few rounds after that will be an issue, but it's all about when we can get the Flying Fortress, and I'm glad that I decided not to get the Arcane Blast and that it was possible for me to not get it, because that $485 may end up making all the difference for us, given how limited income is on Chimps mode. But, let's just continue to see where we can get to on this game mode, and this game in particular. So, I would like to definitely get back to making regular videos on my channel, especially about towers that were buffed or otherwise reworked in the update, because I do want to make my channel like the go-to place about especially update information, because I feel like that is something that can get a community back into a game after a while, like because of new content and a tower being like really good whereas before it was just okay or a little above average and things like that. So I definitely think that that is possible for me to do, and I would like to make the video that I did about the patch notes and balance changes, and the few videos that will follow that, to be the videos that will start that for my channel going forward. So round 76 was not a problem for us. We still do need to save up like $40,000 more dollars, 41,000 to be more precise. So that may mean that ZOMGs are a problem for us, but let's see if we can avoid a problem in that regard. Because something tells me that if a base wizard and a flying fortress have beaten chimps before with no other towers assisting them, that it's in the cards. It's definitely in the cards. So we just need to make sure that we are popping the ZOMGs and all of that without an issue. And the fact that we're popping BFBs before they even make the first turn, or as they make the turn, but before they finish making the turn, tells me that we will be just fine. We just need to make $29,000 more dollars, and then we will be able to get that flying fortress. And once we do, it's pretty much game over. So we will see what we can do. So here is the first ZOMG, and it's already down. As it makes that first turn, it's down by 40% of its health, so maybe I should not worry after all. Let's just see how quickly we can pop this. So, and also how much cash we get. So that was about 1,200, maybe a little bit more, but I want to say it was about $1,200 from that ZOMG, excluding the end of the round bonus income. But the super ceramics could potentially be a problem, but at the same time, the fact that there are a lot more BFBs coming out at once now could be good for us, because that does mean we will make money quicker. So we will have to see. Then again, income isn't the best after round 80, and it becomes even worse after round 100. Not that we're playing that far in today's video though, but let's see what we can do. So just a couple of fortified BFBs left for this round, then we have a bunch of Moabs next round, and then some Moabs and BFBs the round after that, and then 2 ZOMGs on round 85, and I forget exactly what's after that, but let's see what we can do. So at this point we have $15,500 to go for saving for this tower, and it looks like the Moabs are causing a little bit of a problem, but not too much for us. And round 84 does not have those ceramics and fortified ceramics that come out in groups of 3 or so. So let's see if we can pop all of these. And as long as we get all the Moabs without the BFBs and all getting in the way, it's looking like we could. Okay, so that is unfortunate, because I'm not sure what we can really do with micro in regards to this. Let's just try centered path. I don't know if that's going to make things better or worse, and it looks like it may make things a little better or worse. Okay, so made things better there, so let's go back to figure 8, put the wall of fire back over here, and we have $6,000 left to save up. So 2 ZOMGs on this round should not be a problem, even though they are a little bit spaced, which means we will have to pop them separately. The first one is already significantly damaged, so we are looking fine, I would say. Should be smooth sailing, at least for this round, and hopefully next round I think is a bunch of fortified BFBs. Not a ton of them, which is both good and bad. It's good because it shouldn't be hard to beat the round, but it's bad because it means that we won't get a lot of money from it. but we don't need a ton of money anyway. So it looks like the income per pop was not cut after round 80, because that looked like another $1,200. So for that ZOMG, as opposed to the round 81, same amount of money. So we just need $1,200 more, and once we get that, we should be fine. But it does look like we're making less money now that we're past round 85. So yeah, it looks like we will definitely get the Flying Fortress in the middle of this round. And it looks like because of that, we are smooth sailing from here. Because we need that Flying Fortress for DDT popping power, since darts from the Spectre can't pop lead balloons, and the bombs can't pop black balloons. But the projectiles from the Flying Fortress are normal type, so they can pop anything. And there we go, there is our Flying Fortress, so it's smooth sailing from here. So, I did test the Flying Fortress against big DDT rushes and all, such as those from rounds 95 and 99, and it was just fine. It was definitely able to hold its own as it did there against round 90. DDTs didn't even make the first turn there, so I would say we are looking good. And we should have maybe like $50,000, or at least close to that, to spare at the end of this game, which will also be nice for us. Obviously it doesn't do anything for us beating the challenge, but it will be a bit of a flex, so in that regard it is still nice to see. So I would say that the Flying Fortress is definitely overpowered in its current state, and I don't say that about anything that's good, like some people do, but, yeah, I would definitely say that, that buff may not have been necessary, and the darts and the bombs, especially those rapid streams, those 3 streams, that continually fire out of the plane, may need a bit of a nerf. But that's just me, and I think that the price of the Flying Fortress is fine as it is, that it just should not be as strong as it is. That way it's still able to be used in Chimps mode and whatnot, and not be too expensive to where it's purely a late game tower. So here's round 98, the level of the game, or the round of the game with the highest RBE, at least, that isn't past round 100. And here's the fortified DDTs, which are getting a little farther than I was expecting, but it's not too bad. And it looks like the Flying Fortress is about as good against a bad as the Spectre is against a ZOMG. I just realized that. But we do have nearly $55,000 left, and look at that. That is actually both 2 Tower Chimps and 2 Megapops Chimps at one time with the Flying Fortress. So there we go. And I'm glad to have beaten this challenge. Let's check our pops. Our ace has nearly 2.016 million, and our wizard has almost 27,000 pops. So, yeah, there we go. That is going to wrap it up for today's video, you guys. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more interesting content. And I will talk to you all again in the next video. Peace out.